And most of the people, since you've come to Srinagar, many have been asking that we have seen him in some serial and we have seen him acting. So it's just a set of questions that I have here that I'll ask you. So my first question to you is that over the years, Indian entertainment has become a powerful platform for reflecting societal values and norms. Given your prominent roles in shows like Jamai Raja, a series that often delves into family dynamics and relationships, could you elaborate on how you perceive your work contributing to the portrayal of modern Indian identity and shaping family values?
Modern Indian identity and shaping family values, I think one doesn't go without the other. They're deeply integrated. And I think what starts at a micro level just finds its way into the macro. I am here in the capacity of an artist, an actor, a storyteller. And the show that you happen to have mentioned, Jamai Raja, when I was a part of it, I think the fabric that we come from, हमें ऐसा लगता है कि that the man of the house is the provider of whereas the woman actually just takes care of household activities. And all the relationship centered responsibilities होती हैं वो औरत के हाथ में होती हैं. Whereas the man has to go outside and provide for the family. So that I think that show, despite television having been accused of being regressive, was a very progressive thought because it changes that status quo and gives equal responsibility on the shoulders of the man as well. And so much so that for a large part of the show, that man was actually a house husband, where the woman was working and the man was basically taking care of the family. So in that sense, I think through these disruptive storytelling and storylines, you can really encourage a new thought.
That's somewhat true, and especially where in household we see mostly women working and not men doing a helping hand, and day by day it is changing. My second question to you, it is impressive how certain Indian television shows tackle pertinent social issues, effectively reaching a wide audience, right? So can you provide us with specific instances from your career where your work has successfully shed light on pressing social challenges and sparked discussions that potentially led to raising awareness or driving positive changes within the society?
I think the driving positive changes in the society and pressing social issues के बारे में जब बात करना होता है, I think हमारी लाइफ वैसे ही बहुत सीरियस होती है. सीरियस ही है कि आपको बाहर जाकर के काम करना है, मेहनत करनी है, टैक्सेस पे करने हैं. ये सब this is not a fun thing to do, so to say. You need a suspension of reality somewhere. What we call entertainment. You need to go to a cinema hall and see a film to suspend your reality. You need to see a television show to suspend your reality, an OTT show to suspend your reality. I think that your prime objective as the entertainment industry is to give a moment of peace to whoever is consuming the content. Simultaneously, if you are able to drive a big message, simultaneously if you are able to say something big or make society absorb something good, that is a beautiful victory. But having said that, it has to be told with a certain amount of engagement. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to these pressing social issues, I think to start micro and then go macro. I remember that the Indian television industry largely talks about families and family values and challenges within the family, etc., etc. So there was one role that I was once doing where he was a specially abled man. That was around 10, 12 years ago. And that he finds with his own abilities, he finds a way to contribute to work and family and various social responsibilities as well. So I was one day at a mall and this one man, he came and hugged me. And before I could actually ask him that what's going on, he said that, you really inspire us. I was like, how so? So he says that apparently his son was suffering from a similar condition to what my character was suffering from in the show. And he said that seeing you fulfill all those various secular and social and family-oriented responsibilities, it inspires us that there is possibility and hope in our son's life as well. So I think even though it touches one life or one family or one person at a time, it still is a big way forward.
It creates some kind of impact. So I think that answer was something that I related because usually when we were young there used to be these serials revolving Saas Bina Sasural, all perpetuates stereotypes or negative behaviors. So could you share your insights on how the industry can effectively balance its role as a source of entertainment with the responsibility to promote social awareness and positive values?
Everything has a dual nature. There is nothing under the sun that does not have a dual nature. That's an absolute positive or absolute negative. ऐसा कुछ होता नहीं. And now it's content is no different. Content that is made on OTT or television or films is no different. That too has a dual nature. But at the same time, I think it is some things have to be left to the mind and upbringing and conditioning of the consumer as well. You know, because when you're consuming the content, what you take from it is something that's a very individual approach to content, to life, to various things that you're consuming. You know, and it may not necessarily be content at all. It could be a book, it could be the newspaper, it could be anything. What you consume from it has got a lot to do with your life force and your individual life condition as well. So that responsibility too has a dual nature. It lies on the shoulders of the creators, of the makers, and the storytellers, and it also lies equally on the shoulders of the consumers.
So, in a situation, in a world where there is so much, bias, and there are so much sources from where we get to take this entertainment. There is reels, there is in shorts, there is, we have a few of our radio jockeys here. We have that source. So, how do you differentiate between what to take and what not to take? And I think age really, plays an important role, because when you're young, you feel that everything is normal, you can take everything, but you don't know what's going to impact if you want. So I think since all here are in the age bracket of 13, 20, what would be that one message that would diversify that this is where you should keep that borderline of not taking or taking?
Very difficult. It's very difficult. I think all kind of content is there. अब तो पहले engagement अलग-अलग मतलब घंटे की होती थी या 2 घंटे की या 3 घंटे की होती थी, लेकिन अब तो 15 सेकंड की engagement है. 15 सेकंड में ऑडियंस engage हो जाती है किसी कंटेंट के साथ. ये थोड़ा तो उसकी जिम्मेदारी जो है आपको खुद भी लेनी पड़ेगी कि अगर आपका नेगेटिव बायस आपको लेकर के कंटेंट की तरफ जा रहा है, अट्रैक्ट कर रहा है और उस पॉलिटिक्स में लेकर के जा रहा है, तो आपको खुद को बाहर निकालना पड़ेगा ना उसमें से. आप उसके अंदर घुसते चले नहीं जा सकते. तो वो ऑफ कोर्स all kind of, just because there is rotten content out there, you don't necessarily have to align with it. You can always pass it. You can go to the good ones. You can go to stuff that inspires you, motivates you to do better in life. You can go to stuff that makes you more articulate in life, makes you more responsible in life. So that will have to be the consumer's choice as well.
I think that was a good answer. If you all understood, please clap. If you all didn't understand, then I think you would never know that this question was asked. And moving on to the next question. Conflicts, whether internal or external, have often been portrayed in Indian cinema. And given your experience, how can the industry responsibly approach these portrayals, ensuring they encourage open dialogue and peaceful resolutions while avoiding unnecessary glorification of conflicts? And how do you perceive the role of entertainment in bridging cultural divides and promoting a harmonious sense of unity?
I think all kind of content is, again, I think all these questions are just different versions of the first question. Essentially, the entertainment industry has the word entertainment deeply embedded in it. When we want to start dialogue on something which is important, you need to kind of garnish it with all kind of elements of storytelling to make it inviting enough for people to consume. So when you're talking about bridging those gaps, when you're talking about initiating that kind of dialogue as well, it has to run on both these legs. The leg of altruistic intention and of creative storytelling as well. So I think that it will all come down to both these things: the intention of telling a story and the way to tell it.
Just a personal question. How do you think that to tell a story, like there are a lot of versions that we can tell a story, but according to you, what is a good way of telling a story?
What is a good way of telling a story?
Yeah, like there's a way of story, but what is the good way of telling a story?
The first stories that all of us have ever heard is our grandparents narrating. So I think an engaging way of telling a story is the only and the best way of telling a story. So
Okay. So, audiences do play a significant role in leveraging entertainment for social change and peaceful coexistence. How do you envision individuals taking a more proactive role in not just consuming content, but also using it as a tool for sparking meaningful conversations and positive action?
they already are. That's already happening. People, I mean, at this point of time, people are not mindlessly consuming content at all. And I mean, on content, and there is now with the virtue of social media, there is conversations and debates on all kinds of content. So I think that is not something that's a later process. It's happening as we speak.
Okay. So just quickly, so you said that there is engagement, and sometimes you're saying it's good engagement and it's happening. But sometimes there's this section of society which also tends to, not really encourage a person. Like, for example, if XYZ is enacting, he's just starting it out. So there is this section of society that will make sure that you fall down. And where we have so many people who I think tomorrow would like to, become different, would like to go in different professions. What would be that one thing that you would like to tell them to deal with negativity? Because you're someone who closely monitors the audience, right? So how to make sure that that one section of the society is not making us like fall back?
That's the most important section of society. In life, I mean, you think it is the people that support you, that push you forward? No. It is the people that pull you down. They are the ones who put the fire back in your belly. So I think that is the most important element and aspect to your life. It's the people who don't agree with you. Is it not? I mean, because these are the people who, I mean, I'm purely talking as an actor and as a part of the entertainment industry. Because I'm sure there are a lot of biases within the entertainment industry as well, but these biases are what make you go back to the drawing board, work harder, come back with a new skill set. Go back to the drawing board again and come back with a newer skill set. So by the end of it all, you are way, way richer with a whole variety of skill sets, and for that, you don't have to thank the people who actually accepted you. You have to thank the people who rejected you. So I think there's a Japanese term called zenshiski, if I'm getting it right. It means a good friend. So often a good friend is one who makes the path slightly difficult for you. It's like a gym trainer, no matter what the intention, but the action, it pushes you in the right direction. So you can use it to the best of your ability.
Yeah. So I think this is really inspiring because there is this section of society, and I think everyone faces this. There is this section of society that will always make sure that they make you fall down, and they will always make sure that you don't grow whatever you're doing. So I think can we have a huge round of applause for appreciating criticism and not taking it in a bad way, making sure that you just get derailed from your profession. So I think second last question, and after that we'll move to the exciting part, which is the rapid fire, which I personally love. So as the entertainment landscape evolves, the potential for influencing the nation's identity and contributing to progress of society, from your unique perspective, what trends or shifts do you anticipate in the way Indian entertainment will continue to shape the nation's identity and contribute to building a more socially aware, tolerant and peaceful society?
We have some fantastic stories to tell as a nation. So when you're talking about, I think India right now is standing shoulder to shoulder with the world, surpassing the world in many, many aspects. Chandrayaan being one. We are the first to land on the south pole of the moon. And so when the society that you're a part of has such fantastic heroic stories to tell, your bag is full of these fantastic stories that are waiting to be told. So it's I don't think entertainment supersedes that. Entertainment follows what's happening. So I mean, I can see a film being made on Chandrayaan in the coming future. I'd be the first one to watch it.
Yeah, I think that's something that we can categorize in, inspirational. But what about entertainment, where it's not inspirational but it's fun?
A whole lot of fun films are being made. So there are so many of them. So like there are different kind of consumers, there are different kind of content to sample. And now by the virtue of OTT, you have literally content coming out every single day. Every single day you have something new coming out. You can literally pick and choose what you want to watch. However, there is a thing called choice paralysis. Where you just go on Netflix and you keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. And then you suddenly say, yaar, 2 minute pehle to shuru kiya, to agast aa gaya.
True that. That keeps happening with me. So now we will move on to rapid fire. We do not have it as current jobber, so we do not have a hamper, so we are not going to give a hamper. But loads of thank you from the team and from all those who are sitting here. So moving on to the rapid fire, you all please participate once I just ask the question. So my first question is that what's the favorite, and you have to be very quick.
Honest.
Yeah, and you have to be very prompt, so don't take much time.
Achha.
What's your favorite role that you've ever played?
Matsya and Matsyakana.
Okay. Favorite co-star to work with?
That would be Nia. That would be Nia.
Okay. Favorite travel destination?
Favorite travel destination?
Is it Kashmir?
I've just come to Kashmir, and thanks to you, I've not been able to see it. I've just been busy with, but I think I'll see it tomorrow, and then I'll come back to you with the answer. It would be Kashmir.
But apart from Kashmir, because you've not seen
Then
Kashmir.
I recently went to Tirupati, and I had a great time there.
But it's not. Is it the favorite one?
It's become my favorite one for my various experiences that I had there.
We hope that Kashmir replaces it. Okay. Tea or coffee?
Coffee, definitely coffee. You've already seen me having some 7 cups of coffee since morning.
Yeah. This I'd like to ask the audience also, because we have namkeen chai, Lipton chai, we have keva, and then we have coffee. So just asking, tea or coffee? Louder, guys.
Everybody's coffee.
Louder. Okay, how many for tea?
Kya baat hai.
My dad needs to raise his hand. Okay. How many for coffee?
Wow, man.
There are some people who do not drink only, neither tea nor coffee. Namkeen chai, guys? Yes. Yes, namkeen chai.
Namkeen chai. Yeah, ye pilani hai to.
Haan. Okay, so beach vacation or mountain retreat? Mountain retreat.
Depends on the mood, but I think a mountain really puts me at peace.
Yeah, we saw that.
Yeah.
Okay, action-packed scenes or emotional scenes?
Emotional scenes.
Emotional scenes. Action-packed scenes or emotional scenes? How many for emotional? हाँ मतलब रोना ही है life में. And how many for action?
वो एक ने तो 2 हाथ खड़े किए हुए हैं.
You know, 50-50. Okay, one actor or actress you dream of working with?
Sargun Mehta.
That's his life, guys. Okay, the most challenging aspect of your career?
To be relevant. And that I think no matter where one is at whatever stage one would be in their career, I think that when you ask them this question and they come back with an honest answer, it would be that.
Got it. A motto or mantra that keeps you motivated?
I truly believe the next moment has not yet come. So it is a moment of pure potentiality. Literally anything can happen. So I am a hyper-optimistic. Most would call me a toxically optimistic person. But I think that's worked very, very well for me. And I truly believe the best is yet.
Yes. Great. Backstage. Your message to the youth?
It might sound like a cliche, but believe in yourself, man. I mean, there is. You are perceiving your world. You're literally creating it. But I think sometimes these words like manifestation and law of attraction and all of that, they become so much in popular culture that they lose their meaning and their weight. But these are things which are genuinely happening, and if you truly can celebrate yourself, the sky is not the limit, it is just the beginning.
Beautiful. So I'll just ask this one last rapid fire, and it is my favorite rapid fire question to ask. The organization, I.I.M.U.N.
Trailblazing.
rapid.
Trailblazing. Yeah, I've been volunteering for I.I.M.U.N for a couple of years now, And yeah, I think it's for me, the face of I.I.M.U.N was always Rishabh Shah. And I think, because for me, when I saw him, and I think he's actually taken a step back, and he's letting the youth come in the front, and he's allowing them to kind of be in the limelight, so to say, which I think is, at a certain age, is very, very important to encourage and propel the youth. But Rishabh was an outstanding individual. Outstanding. I mean, he's so articulate. He's so clear about the ideas of youth. He's so clear about the fact that he wants to unite people. And at this critically aging stage of their life, he's really aligning with some fantastic people in the form of themselves. So I mean, international movement to unite nations. That's what they're trying to do, and that's a very altruistic motive.
Just because we are here and we have so many people out there, Jammu and Kashmir Conference of I.I.M.U.N 2023.
So I was just speaking to a gentleman here, and he happened to say that such events, I mean, pardon me if I'm paraphrasing or not quoting it correctly, but they they wouldn't be very regular, until some time back. But it is such an encouraging thing to see that, dance and music and events such as this and conversations and sharing of thoughts and exchange of thoughts, it's happening now at a regular basis. This is a big, big move forward. And I'm happy that you guys consider me to be a part of this momentous. Truly, I think I've been a part of the Vadodara conclave, and that was a massive event. I've myself hosted the event that you were talking about, when the Chief of Army Staffs and various leaders were there, and they were so articulately exchanging their various point of views, opposing also to each other. But this, I think, is a very powerful meeting.